Hello, and welcome back to Morning Constitution, the podcast where we explore the entire U.S. Constitution, one section at a time. I'm your host, Joel Hawksley, and today we're diving into Article 1 of the Constitution, which establishes the legislative branch of the government. In this episode, we'll cover Section 1, which creates Congress, and Section 2, which outlines the House of Representatives. So let's get started. Article 1, Section 1, the Congress. The opening section of Article 1 is succinct, but profoundly important. It reads, all legislative power herein granted shall be vested in a Congress of the United States, which shall consist of a Senate and a House of Representatives. This single sentence establishes the structure of this legislative branch, dividing it into two distinct chambers, the Senate and the House of Representatives. This bicameral system was designed to balance the interests of both large and small states to ensure a more thorough review of legislation. The decision to create a bicameral legislature was influenced by historical precedent and particular considerations. The framers were familiar with the British Parliament, which also has two houses. Additionally, the Great Compromise, or Connecticut Compromise, resolved a contentious debate between delegates from large states who wanted representation based on population and small states who wanted equal representation. By creating a Senate with equal representation for each state and a House based on population, the framers ensured a balance of power and fairness. Article 1, Section 2, the House of Representatives. Now let's move on to Section 2, which focuses on the House of Representatives. This section is more detailed and outlined. The qualifications, election process, and specific power of the House. Now, Section 2 begins. The House of Representatives shall be composed of members chosen every second year by the people of the several states, and the electors in each state shall have the qualifications requisite for electors of the most numerous branch of the state legislature. This clause sets the term's length for members of the House at 2 years, ensuring that This clause sets the term length for members of the House at 2 years, ensuring that representatives remain closely accountable to their constituents. Frequent elections means that the House can quickly respond to changes in public opinion and societal needs. This section continues by outlining the qualifications for the representatives. Now, no person shall be a representative who shall not have attained the age of 25 years and been 7 years a citizen of the United States, and who shall not, when elected, be an inhabitant of that state in which he shall be chosen. Wow. These qualifications ensure that representatives have a minimum level of maturity and experience. The age requirement is lower than that of the Senate, reflecting the framers' intent that the House be more immediately responsive to the public. The citizenship requirement ensures loyalty to the United States, and the residency requirement ensures that representatives are connected to the communities they serve. Next section, Section 2, addresses the apportionment of representatives among the states. Representatives and direct taxes shall be apportioned among the several states which may be included within this union according to their representative numbers, which shall be determined by adding to the whole number of free persons, including those bound to service for a term of years, and excluding Indians not taxed, 3/5 of all other persons. This clause, known as the 3/5 Compromise, was a deeply contentious and morally troubling part of the Constitution. It determined that enslaved individuals would be counted as 3/5 of a person for both representation and taxation purposes. This compromise was a pragmatic but deeply flawed solution to the conflict between northern and southern states over how to count the enslaved population. Thankfully, the 3/5 Compromise was rendered obsolete by the 13th Amendment, which abolished slavery, and the 14th Amendment, which granted full citizenship and equal protection under the law to all persons. The section then details the enumeration or census, which must occur every 10 years to determine the population and apportionment of representatives. This ensures that representation in the House reflects shifts in population and demographic changes over time. Section 2 also outlines the process for filling vacancies in the House. When vacancies happen in the representation from any state, the executive authority thereof shall issue writs of election to fill such vacancies. This provision ensures the people of a state are always fully represented in the House. If a seat becomes vacant, the state's governor calls a special election to fill that position. The section concludes with the House's unique powers. The House of Representatives shall choose their Speaker and other officers, and shall have the sole power of impeachment. The Speaker of the House is a crucial leadership position, responsible for guiding legislation and representing the House as an institution. The power to choose their own leaders ensures that the House remains independent and self-governing. The sole power of impeachment is one of the most significant checks on executive and judicial authority. The House can impeach federal officials, including the president, for treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. Impeachment is a two-step process. The House brings charges, and the Senate conducts the trial and decides whether to convict and remove the official from office. In summary, Article 1, Section 2 lays the foundation for the House of Representatives, outlining its structure, qualifications, and specific powers. The framers designed the House to be the most directly responsive to the people, with frequent elections and representation based on population. The House role in impeachment proceedings highlights its function as a check on the other branches of government, ensuring accountability and integrity within the federal system. Understanding the House of Representatives is crucial for grasping how our legislative branch operates. As we continue our journey through Article 1, we'll explore the Senate in the next episode, examining how this other half of Congress complements and balances the House's functions. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of Article 1, Section 1 and 2. I hope this episode has deepened your understanding of the legislative branch and the principles that guide it. Be sure to tune in next Tuesday at 9 o'clock p.m. for our next episode, where we'll delve into the Senate's structure, qualifications, and powers. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. Your support helps us reach more listeners and continue our journey through the Constitution. You can also follow us on social media for updates and additional content. And if you have any questions whatsoever or topics you'd like to cover, feel free to reach out. Until next time, I'm Joel Hawksley, and this has been Morning Constitution. Stay informed and stay curious.